Any clips, any news, any names, any information used in this video is for fair use, commenting, criticism, educational, and fair use purposes. Viewer discretion is advised, and everything from this point on is allegedly.
The young niggas standing on business. Fuck around, we gon' get right with you. East side, west side, north side, south side. Of the Saginaw trenches. East side, west side, north side, south side. Of the Saginaw trenches. Standing on business. Fuck around, we gon' get right with you. East side, west side, north side, south side. Of the Saginaw trenches.
Previously on the Allegedly series.
Your WNEM TV5 News Update.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Colette Boyd. Here's a look at the top stories we're following today. A 45-year-old Saginaw man has died after being stabbed on Tuesday morning. He was identified as Donald Earl Simon. The incident happened on Nyman Street, and he was found with at least one stab wound to his torso. Simon was later pronounced dead at a local hospital. The suspect took off from the scene, but was later caught by Michigan State Police troopers and is currently in custody at the Saginaw County Jail. Now, according to Saginaw Police, all parties involved knew each other and there is no danger to the public.
One Saginaw man is dead and another is in police custody. The results of an early morning stabbing on the city's south side. About 3:40 a.m. on Tuesday, May 2nd, police responded to the stabbing at 520 Nyman Street. Two men and two women were drinking within the living room when an argument ensued, which culminated with one pulling a knife and stabbing the other, said Saginaw Police Detective SKT Matthew Jarrow. The stabber left the house and drove away from the scene. Responding police and paramedics attempted to aid the stabbed 45-year-old man, identified as Donald Earl Simon. Simon was taken to Ascension St. Mary's Hospital, where staff pronounced him deceased at 4:20 a.m., Jarrow said. Police also recovered the knife in question at the scene, Jarrow said. Children were sleeping in a bedroom when the stabbing occurred, he added. About an hour after the stabbing, Michigan State Police troopers pulled over the suspect as he drove over the Rust Avenue Bridge, Jarrow said. Troopers arrested the 33-year-old man and lodged him in the Saginaw County Jail on a charge of open murder. Jarrow said the two men had known each other prior to Tuesday morning. Consoling her daughter over her father's slaying is, tragically, familiar to Regina Simon. In June 1998, the father of her son, Freddie L. Young, was shot and killed in Saginaw. The killer, Tyrone Slaughter, was later convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. I visited him in prison and came to terms with that loss, Regina Simon said. Now I'm having the same conversation with my second child. Her dad was stabbed in his heart, and my son's dad was shot in his heart. In the early morning hours of Tuesday, May 2nd, Donald Simon was at a house at a 520 Nyman St. At the time of Simon's killing, the suspect was free on a $10,000 personal reconnaissance bond on a charge of third-degree child abuse, a 2-year felony. He was arraigned on that charge on December 8th, and condition of his bond was that he have no unsupervised contact with any minor. Police have said there were children sleeping at the house Simon and the suspect visiting the night of the stabbing. Martell T. Mims, 33, on Thursday, May 4th, appeared before Saginaw County District Judge David D. Hoffman for arraignment on single counts of open murder and carrying a concealed weapon. Open murder contains first and second-degree murder, both life offenses, but a first-degree conviction negates the possibility of parole. Hoffman denied granting Mims' bond for wearing a yellow sweatsuit to a gathering at a Saginaw house. Donald E. Simon ruffled the feathers of others present. The matter of clothing color escalated a dispute to the point of violence, ending with Simon's death from a stab wound. On Wednesday, July 26th, the man accused of delivering the fatal wound, Martell T. Mims, Jr., appeared before Saginaw County District Judge Terry L. Clark for the continuation of a preliminary examination begun May 24th. Mims, 33, is charged with single counts of open murder and carrying a concealed weapon in connection with Simon's homicide on May 2nd at 520 Nyman's St. Saginaw County Assistant Prosecutor Shelby Sanborn called no witnesses Wednesday, but submitted an autopsy report for the judge to review. After Clark finished, Sanborn asked Mims to be bound over to circuit court for trial, recapping the case she presented thus far. All seemed fine at first, until an argument erupted between Mims and one of the women over Simon's yellow apparel. Sanborn said, "Yellow is associated with Saginaw's Sunnyside gang." This led to a fistfight in the street, after which everyone went back inside the house, she said. Shortly thereafter, Simon was sitting on a pile of clothes in a living room closet area. Mims stood over him, and the pair exchanged words, Sanborn said. One of the two drew a pocket knife, which wound up in Simon's chest. Responding police found one knife in Simon's pocket, and another on a TV stand. Paramedics took Simon to Ascension St. Mary's Hospital, where he succumbed to his wound at 4:20 a.m. Mims left the scene before police arrived, about 5:07 a.m. Michigan State Police troopers pulled over Mims as he drove over the Rust Avenue Bridge and arrested him. Troopers found another pocket knife in the vehicle, Sanborn said. Mims told police that Simon had drawn a knife. As they argued, someone shoved them, and they tussled on the ground, during which Simon was stabbed, Sanborn said. Mims' preteen son testified his father was protecting himself and his family. While the issue of self-defense could be raised, it's up to a jury to decide how valid it is, the prosecutor said. Defense attorney James F. Gust had no comment. Judge Clark bound Mims over to circuit court, ordering he continue to be held in jail without bond. Simon's death is Saginaw's fourth homicide of 2023, and the first to not involve gunfire. At this point in 2022, Saginaw also had 4 homicides. The year ended with Saginaw recording 19 homicides, the same as in 2021.
Fuck around, we don't get right with you. East side, west side, north side, south side of the Saginaw trenches. East side, west side, north side, south side of the Saginaw trenches. Of the Saginaw trenches. You better not get caught in the Saginaw trenches. East side, west side, north side, south side. North side, east side, west side, south side. Gang, 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 gang.